So what brought you to looking for the lymphatic system? And did you know about the lymphatic system, its roles in health, really, before you learned about me?
Well, for a long time, I've been trying to get to the root of my pain and inflammation. In 2018, I did a thermal imaging session with someone who came over to the Bahamas from Canada. And that's when I actually learned that I had inflammation all over my body from head to toe. Now, the next step was, okay, what do I do about it? But there was really no one in the Bahamas that I found that could help me. They would just give me painkillers. They would say, eat, maybe change your diet, which I tried, but I wasn't getting anywhere. So I like to Google everything. And I think that's how I came across your Facebook page. And I started reading, and I had heard about the lymphatic system, but only once or twice in the past when I had a lymphatic massage. I had it once, many, many years ago. But I think that's how I came across your information. So I contacted your wife, Aileen, and I attended some of these Facebook live sessions, and I was definitely convinced that this might be the missing link, because I've tried everything. I've tried massages, I've tried chiropractor, acupuncture, I've tried physical therapy, everything. Myofascial release, I think is what you call it,
Yep.
massage as well.
And what were your main problems?
Well, over time it became more and more. So I've always had sinus issues, and so I thought, okay, let me just get off dairy, and it helped a little, and it helped. But I would always eat ice cream, and then I said, okay, let me get off cheese. So I was trying to manage that on my own. After the sinus issues, I realized that after my child, who weighed 10 pounds and he's 11 right now, he was a huge baby, and I noticed that that gave me a lot of sciatica pain. So I thought it would eventually go down when I lost all the weight, but it didn't. So I have a desk job, and it just aggravated it, sitting down all day, stressed at work and not getting any exercise. And it was like a vicious cycle, because I would feel tired at the end of the day from sitting down all day, stressed out, and I couldn't exercise because I was too tired and in so much pain. So then after that, I started noticing it really topples me. It's affected my work, it's affected how much time I can spend with my kids. It's just a very bad part of my life. And it's up and down. Sometimes it would feel better. It wasn't so bad. Some months I wouldn't have so much pain, but I would have a lot of congestion. Sometimes, I didn't have much issues, but I started tracking it, and I've noticed that, I would get the migraines, I would get the pressure, I would get the bad moods and the depressed moods. And I tried to exercise, but it's also like a vicious cycle. You're trying to exercise, but then you don't have the energy to do it. So more recently, what's been going on is when I came to Canada in 2019, I've been a full-time student, and I've been sitting down a lot more, studying day and night. So I would stay up until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning studying. And I didn't work, I was full-time studying. And I noticed that my tailbone was so sore that I couldn't sit down. I noticed that my left side was swollen. I noticed my eye was swollen, my hands, everything on my left side of my body. So then I said to myself, something is definitely going on here, and I have to get to the root cause of it. I have to see, what's causing all of this. Obviously, I'm sitting down too much, but each time I try to exercise and I have a rebounder, I noticed that I would get more tense, like my muscles didn't like that. And And I for the last 2 years, I felt like, you know, those toys that you wind up and
Yeah.
wind up, and then you release it and it's supposed to unwind. Well, I never unwind. I'm always tight and tense.
And that, you know, you hit a few things right on the head, you know, that basically it moves from side to side, right? If it was a specific problem, it would be one side hurting all the time. But often I hear from people and their pain is in different parts of their body in different times. Also, why do you have days that you don't have such bad menstruation and some days you do, or have more pain some days and some days less? It's all days when your lymph system is flowing better than you're doing better. Now, you decided to join our course. I know you waited till your studies were over, which is great, but you joined our course and you even had a session from me. What do you think of our course?
I love it. I think it's the best thing I've done. I promised myself that I would, you know, after my studies, because I couldn't focus on anything else, I promised myself that I would take care of myself and get to the root cause and dedicate myself like I did with my studies. So that session that we had was amazing, and I've been on the course. And every time I go on, it's just so easy to follow. You have a video to watch, and then you have something to read. You explain it in very simple terms. I mean, I'm not a medical person, but I understand what you're talking about. I understand what you're saying, and I believe everything that you mentioned. You know,
Sometimes when we're stuck, when our lymphatic system is stuck, it's like glue in your lymphatic vessels, you know, or they can become
yes.
blocked like log jams in a river. So we need more than even just diet sometimes, you know. So what did you experience in my remote session, in my distance lymphatic healing session, which some people have never probably heard of healing work, doing it at distance? Have you heard about it before?
I heard about
But you
yeah,
never
doing it.
experienced it
I never
before.
experienced it. So my mother swears by energy work, and I always thought, yeah, whatever. I didn't really believe it, but you know, I for some reason I believed that what everything that I read about you and what you do, I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to have an open mind about it. And when you were, you know, when we had that session, I felt very relaxed. I felt my body, yeah, like a little melting, like, you know, relaxing, getting lighter, looser. And and then you would tell me, you know, okay, this part of your body is unwinding. And I'm like, okay. And then I realized when I paid more attention that every time you would tell me that a certain part of my body was unwinding, it coincided with a gurgle, or my neck would crack. And and I'm like, okay, that felt better. And then it became a point where each time that you said that something was unwinding in me, I can I can hear something in my body moving around. And this was more like, okay, it's going somewhere. It's moving around. It was kind of like a traffic jam, that it was just all stuck, going nowhere, backed up, and then, you know, started to flow more and more.
As we worked on, you started
Yeah.
opening up and you got very relaxed at the end, right? That's one thing people get super. So if you're a person who has anxiety and you can't relax, I will get you extremely relaxed.
And I
All
was
right.
constantly yawning. That's another thing. Yeah, I remember I was constantly yawning. I'm like, wow.
It's very relaxing when we open up the lymphatic system and we work in the brain, because I also work in your brain. You feel it. And I mean, it really is. Some people have never felt that level of relaxation. And not that it's always going to be that way, but over a few sessions, and hopefully people will join our course like you did, and they'll learn to be able to maintain their lymphatic system, to keep their brain flowing, and to be able to handle when they have their ups and downs. Any parting remarks for people about the course?
You know, all I can say is I'm super glad and thankful that I found you, because I have spent so much money over the years on massages. I've traveled even to the States, to Atlanta and other places, to get massages, myofascial massages. But having the knowledge yourself and being able to learn how to do it yourself is invaluable, because this is a constant thing. I've realized now going through the course that this is a constant balancing act that you have to do. And knowing how to do it on yourself is great. I mean, I'm so excited. I want to just rush through everything so I can know everything. And yeah, I would really tell anyone out there who's been having pain or issues for a long time and haven't had any, much results with anything else, to give this a chance, because I feel that this is the missing link. I feel that no doctors have ever told me about the lymphatic system. So this is very important.
I'm glad you were open-minded to it and had an open heart to it. And that's what people have to understand. They have to get away from what we learned. We were taught the same thing over and over again. This is heart disease is one of these. When we activate the lymphatic system, it helps everything. All right. Thank you very much, Genoveve.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming
John.
on and helping people understand the lymphatic system. Thank you very much.
Thank you.